According to IBF and WBA World Heavyweight Champion Anthony Joshua, this rematch with Wladimir Klitschko is still up in the air. Klitschko hasn't yet decided what he wants to do, but he says that the front runner, well, him and Eddie Hearn are saying that the front runner to host this potential fight, in terms of venue and location, is Las Vegas at the moment. There had been talk about Nigeria, there had been talk about Dubai and several other places around the world, but Vegas is just ahead at the moment. Now, it's interesting to me that Eddie Hearn says that in his view, Wladimir Klitschko is only going to take this fight if the event motivates him to. Like, the Wembley fight was a big event. It was a special event, 90,000 people and whatnot. The biggest crowd that either Klitschko or Joshua had fought in front of before. Joshua had fought on the Frutch Groves undercard that was 80,000, and at the time that Joshua fought, because he fought quite early on the card, there was certainly nowhere near 80,000 in the crowd. So yeah, it was the biggest crowd that either one of them had fought in front of a special event. And Eddie Hearn is saying that it needs to be another special event, not necessarily such a big crowd, but it has to be in some special location. There has to be something special about the event to motivate Klitschko to want to do it. That's what Eddie Hearn is saying. I don't know. I just find it interesting that it's taking Klitschko so long to decide. For me, it's not a good sign. If I'm a Klitschko fan or I'm a Klitschko team member, I'd be concerned that it's taking him this long to decide whether he wants to take this rematch or not. Because you can't go into a fight like this against the guy who just knocked you out half-hearted, with not fully committed mentally, emotionally, and physically. Not 100% sure about it. You have to be fully sure. So if I was a Klitschko fan, man, I'd be concerned about that. Vegas is the long-time home of big-time boxing. Most of the biggest grossing fights of all time have taken place in Las Vegas. So if you're a nostalgic person, I'm not sure if Anthony Joshua is, but if you're a nostalgic person and you're into all that kind of thing, then you'll want to fight in Vegas. I remember for many, many years, it was the ambition of most British fighters to actually have a big fight in Vegas, to be able to walk down the strip in Vegas and see their name up in lights. Ricky Hatton talked about that, for example, and he eventually obviously did go to Vegas and had fights there. So I can see the nostalgia element of having it in Vegas. Klitschko himself has already fought in Vegas, I believe. He must have fought in Vegas a few times. I know he's fought in New York. I assume he's fought in Vegas a bunch of times too. So it won't be anything new for him to be fighting in Vegas. He's already been there and done it. I'm sure, ideally, Klitschko would like to fight Joshua in Germany, but that's never going to happen. There's no way that Klitschko would agree to fight in... there's no way that Joshua would agree to fight in Klitschko's backyard. Joshua's the champion now. I know Klitschko must have a certain amount of say in terms of negotiations for the rematch, but I doubt he'd be able to get the fight in Germany. So would Las Vegas be a decent enough alternative for Wladimir Klitschko? I don't know. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. Is Anthony Joshua a big enough name yet to sell in Vegas? Would the fight be pay-per-view in America? Unlikely. It will probably just air on Showtime or regular HBO. I doubt it would be pay-per-view. But would the fight actually be able to sell out the T-Mobile Arena or, any of those other arenas there? The MGM Grand or, whichever arenas still show big-time boxing in Vegas. I know there's a whole bunch of them. Would they actually be able to sell out one of those venues that hold, I guess, what was it, 16,000 or something, 18,000 those arenas hold? I know Klitschko is obviously a long-established name, and Vegas is a fight town, but my understanding of it is when it comes to big boxing events, people travel from other states to Vegas for those events. The fights are not normally, the crowd for these big fights are not normally made up of Vegas residents. To my understanding, they're normally made up of people who travel from other states or whatever, or other parts of Nevada maybe, or, outside of the state. You come travel to the fight. So is there enough interest in Klitschko even to fill out a venue in Vegas? Combine it with Joshua. I've heard that Joshua is getting bigger in the United States in terms of his public profile, particularly after the Klitschko fight. Maybe if they market it right, but because the first fight was a great fight. It was an all-time heavyweight classic. So that gives HBO and Showtime, because they both showed the first fight, that gives them both a great promotional tool. They can show highlights of that between their other sporting events to promote a Joshua Klitschko rematch in Vegas. Maybe they could sell it out. I don't know. But it just seems a bit iffy when you've got two foreign fighters. Klitschko has never really been particularly popular in the United States because he's had this safety-first style. There was a point where both Showtime and HBO weren't interested in showing any Klitschko fights. And Joshua's just a newcomer on the scene. Joshua ain't even 20 fights in. And he's British. He's not from the United States. Never fought in the United States. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the fight does actually happen there. Those are my musings on it, people. What do you think? Can this fight sell out in Vegas? Can it be a big deal there? I think it would be good if it did take place in Vegas. I think it would be good because if it's a good fight, just like the first one, and if Joshua, especially if Joshua can come out victorious, it's going to raise the profile of heavyweight boxing in the United States. And boy, does heavyweight boxing need its profile raised in America. Certainly right now. It's going to raise its profile, but it's also going to spark up that patriotic feeling among Americans. They're going to look at Joshua and say, okay, he came to our country, he bashed up Klitschko, spectacular knockout, he's coming here, he's a big guy, he's a young guy, he's undefeated, he's a puncher, he's got the world at his feet at the moment. We need somebody that can take him out. This guy's from England, he ain't from our country, we need somebody to compete with this guy. Oh, hang on, don't we have a heavyweight champion? Oh yeah, we do, Deontay Wilder. That's our guy. I think Joshua fighting Klitschko in Vegas can actually help Deontay Wilder just via association, and would help build up that fight into something that could really help boxing in general in the United States get a boost, not just heavyweight boxing. So anyway, people, drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel. It's happening. I'm out.